All right. Let's get going here. Got everything set up. I've got my stylus. Let's go here. There we go. It's a little bit, well, there's a little bit more sunshine right now, but I have her desk lamp on because it's a little bit dark otherwise, but I don't know, my camera seems fine, her camera seems dark, but we'll see. I need to change it, I'll change it. All right, so here I think I was doing layout bits, and I was, okay, I don't know. Okay, that's good. And that's not good. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what I was doing, and it looks like I was doing layout, but then I was dropping background pieces in with the layout lines. So that's not the best, but we can fix it pretty easily, I think. Some of these lines are Am I missing anything else? Kind of this, so I'll go ahead and take that. I'm not sure if I want to continue. I kind of almost want to start over, but I like this island. I don't like what I've done here, so I'm just going to start going for it. And I think that this is going to be too... I'm going to have the character sitting here, so it might be too busy to have this kind of slap, you know, kind of, what do they call it? Shiplap type pattern here. I'm sorry, my lady. Did I bother you? Oh. Are we gonna get a stretch? Oh. No, no stretch. No stretch. Got some very enthusiastic purring though. Maybe one day I'll put a purr mic on her. Well, not on her, but near her. I could probably sit one up in the corner that might catch her purring. She says, no, thank you. She says, I'm not interested. All right, so let's see what I can do with this back here. I'm okay with that right now, but this is I'm not okay with, because this is kind of too high for Granny Bear to even use. Let's just see if I can do something with a countertop maybe. And I know I want to have a window. I'm framing everything. Really? I don't want to make this line a little thinner. What's my point size here? 21? Okay. Okay. Sure what I want back here. Let's just go for it. This is going to be another set of cabinets maybe. And maybe I won't have this. Maybe I need to move this piece back. I think that's kind of what I need to do, because it's not feeling too awfully cozy as it is. Do I want to just do a whole back counter like that? Maybe. Maybe that would be good. Let's just stretch it. And eyeball the stuff on the ground is kind of what I always do. I think it makes it flow a little better. Maybe it's just in my head, but it is what it is. Kind of like that. Edit you a little bit. And I think you need to be edited too, and maybe moved over. There we go. And now let's make this one 30%. And make those floor lines a little bit more delicate. Alrighty. I'm gonna go ahead and erase. So I've been I picked back up rather POE, Path of Exhale is my kind of cool down at night. I think I'm gonna group these and drop them down and redraw these lines to be a little bit more delicate like these are. And I'm gonna strengthen the silhouette of this a little bit more, I think, because this is going to be the focus of attention, and I want this to not be as focused on. So I've been taking great entertainment in making it. Well, she is not new, but I had only gotten her to like level 20 something, maybe 19 before I started playing again. And so in the time between, they'd added a lot of new stuff to the game, and so I'm just kind of going through. And I feel like every time I pick it up, I get a little bit better at making the character and getting her to level properly. Well, not getting her to level properly, but just like so she doesn't die immediately. And last night I did one of the, probably, it was only Act 3 though, so it's one of the first big bosses you have to face, even though there's a pretty big one at like the end of 1 and 2, but I remember times when it took me several to beat her, but it was just I dropped, you know, a couple of towers, and usually I drop towers and then get the heck out of dodge and then come back in and shoot from the perimeter as the towers are doing work. But she was dead quite quickly, and I was like, okay, well, that's fun. She didn't even get to go through her taunts, because usually like the HP bar goes down and she has different taunts throughout the progression. And yeah, no, she was denied. That was kind of funny. But I still think, because I was looking at my skill tree, I'm planning out where I want to go, and I've got to get some, because right now she's very glass cannon-y, and I have to figure out how to buff her a little bit more so she doesn't die, because I know that, I mean, I still have not been able to do, and I was like, cause so after you get through the storyline, the game, pretty much the big part of the game is the end game, where you get to go through these maps and you get like drops and progressively harder bosses and harder maps. I've never been able to do even the lowest level map, and I can't even clear a quarter of it. And so I looked up what a generally accepted sort of range for your DPS and everything is supposed to be when you're tackling this, and the numbers were just insane. I think the highest I've gotten at the end game, gosh, what was she? She was barely 30k, maybe 18k DPS, and you're supposed to be like approaching 100, and on these later maps you're in the millions. Like, I've never actually gotten that. But then again, I've never bought. I think a big part of it is buying proper equipment from the marketplace, and that's something I've never done. I'm relying solely on drops and what I can figure out from the skill tree. So it'll be interesting. It's certainly nice to not... Oh gosh, I think it's coming up. There is one... He's not even a main boss, it's like a mini boss. Some general dude that's stuck in like an electrical factory or something over in the corner. And I got to that one, and I must have died like 20 times trying to kill him. And I just couldn't do it, and it was so frustrating. It got to the point where I was like, I have to do it. And I have to figure out how to kill this guy, because it wasn't even a required quest, it was optional. But yeah, I eventually got him, but it was an exercise in persistence and frustration and pig-headedness on my part, because I should have let it go, but I was like, no, I can defeat this guy. I can do it. I can figure out how to actually properly kill a boss. That takes some skill and some kiting ability and something a little more than just, you know, a bowl in a china shop and button mashing. Let's see here. Where am I there? Why are you so thin at this end? I kind of need you to be, but I don't really... Let's just see if we can compromise here. There we go. I think I need this much lead on the edge. Let's just take that down a smidge. All right, so let's see. I've got this stuff here. I kind of want to put the sink in front of the window. But I don't... I want to put that detail... These guys are going to be blocking it, so maybe I'll just leave that out. And let's do some more drawers. Let's make... I'm just going to grab my set here so everything is all even. Oops. And let's flip. There we go. Maybe these are deeper drawers for pot lids and stuff. All right, and let's do another cabinet here. Oh, that was my back. Oops. Oops. Like this window's going to need to be smaller. And a little higher up. Did I group my window? Let's group the window. That's a big window. That's okay. It can be a big window. That's fine. Big windows are fine. What I just want to make sure is that my counters and stuff are proportionate to the characters. I don't want to have these massive counters that it doesn't look like they could be able to use. So I always want to make sure I've got the heights right and all of that. And Granny Bear is about right here, and this island is a little bit, you know, of course, forward from this back wall, but I might have to move this down a little bit again. And I might need to make my window smaller again. And if I want cabinetry, I was thinking about cabinetry over here, but it's going to need to be down low if these characters are going to have any hope of actually getting into them and using them. Or I could do, I would never, no. I don't like open shelving, so I'm never going to try that in here. Open shelving in the kitchen, because everything gets dusty and dirty, and you're cooking, the cooking smells get everywhere, and I have my own gripe about open shelving in like display areas is okay, but I just don't like having all of the dishes exposed to the elements. It looks nice, but it looks nice in a kitchen that you never use. If you actually use the kitchen. All right, I'm gonna have characters in front of this, so I'm gonna leave this area probably, and I'm gonna bring this up a little, I think. I could just make the shapes, even though, you know, for Granny Bear to use this cabinet, it's going to have to be like this low. And going up this high is going to be ridiculous. That's far too far. I could make like what I was thinking before is just having cabinetry and like plants and stuff. I could bring it down lower though. There we go. And now I'm going to have to do cabinetry on the other side. Zoop and zoop. And we need to make this work. We need to be about equidistant from my vanishing point, and I'm not eyeballing this very well. Let's just do the poor man's measure. Okay. You, my friend. Shoot. Is that really? It is, because this is the edge of the cabinet and this is the edge of that cabinet, but that will leave room for Happy and the characters. So that's pretty good, I think. I think that's pretty good. It doesn't seem like it's because of this window. The window's what's doing it. It's making this distance seem not as big as this one, but it's the same exact square. All right, so let's take my cabinetry and we're just going to extend you out. Doot. And a doot. And a doot. Oops. Oh, heck. Come on. I'm gonna have to redraw this thing if I get it too wobbly. I made a really good soup last night, and it was like the perfect weather for it. We had a little, well, not a little bit, pretty precipitous drop in temperature over the weekend. On Sunday, actually. And seems like I was like, ooh, I want to get more of these and do it again, because I missed so on the little soup kits I get, there's directions on how to put it together. So it's dried ingredients, spices, and then you add fresh ingredients. Like on this one, you sliced up mushrooms and sauteed them, and then added the broth and added the packet, package. And on that, they give you variations. Like in this one said you could put in some ground beef and get that going, saute the mushrooms, and then add it, and it really bulks it up. And so I was like, darn it, I wish I had, because it's oftentimes the main recipe and then it's kind of like an asterisk or fine print, like, hey, if you want to do this, you can just add these other ingredients. And I had only read the main part of the recipe, and so I was like, oh damn, I want to do that again and do that variation next time. And then I went to get more, but the company that makes it, I guess, has discontinued that flavor. And so I was like, well, that's not good. And I was able to find a couple of just general kitchen stores and cooking stores that still had it in stock. So I bought a couple of them last night that still had it in stock. And so I'll have a few more of those before I'm out of luck. I guess in the meantime, I'll figure out how to make the recipe myself without the dried. I think they're dried shiitake mushrooms, and that's probably the problem. It's the dried shiitake mushrooms. that reconstitute as the broth is, you know, cooking everything. And I could figure out how to do it. I bet I could. And it might just take a little bit longer with the fresh ingredients. But all right, so what's gonna go on top of this cabinet? I have some plant on the other one. I kind of want to do some planty type things to green it up because I think that that's something Granny Bear would have. And maybe she put her old favorite rolling pin up there as a decoration. She doesn't want to get rid of it, but she doesn't want to use it anymore. Maybe I just roughen the shapes. Maybe I have some greenery just kind of curling around here. I can have like that and then this. Something like that. Seems like it might work. And I can put all of this again on its own line art color, a little bit removed from stuff in the foreground so it looks a little bit, so there's a little distance in there. Hey Chris, welcome to the stream. Is that a big fat like for Cocoa Bean? She's taking up a good percentage of her camera. I think I want some of those, like, I want to create some height because all of this is going to be behind the blurb. Sir Joseph. She objects to that name. Yeah? We gonna get a stretch? You gonna give me a oh no, big stretch. Oh, that was a good one. Oh, now she's stuck. That's okay. She can be stuck. Let's do some shorter ones here. Oops. I have to group this. There we go. Oops. Everything's kind of leaning that direction. Let's out maybe a little bit. Just curls behind it, maybe. That looks too weird, maybe not. That definitely looks weird. Let's see. Point size is pretty small. Let's do a few little details in here, like maybe how do I want to, there we go. Wondering how do I want to kind of overlap the stuff on the edge of the cabinet. Maybe have a couple more leaflets chilling out down here, maybe. Oh. Nudge that one down a bit. I think I need to make this guy, I don't quite like how he's leaning. This guy bothering you, Luce? Oh, why? Why do you ask? Oh no, he's leaning. You've ever seen while you're sleeping. I'm gonna need a clean here. Phoenix acquired, and let me BRB while I blow my nose. There we go, much better. There we go, that's better. Now I need to fix the edges over here. And maybe take that one out. Oh, it's better. All right, so what kind of plant? Do I want to do a plant that has different sections? Like I'll have a zone here and then maybe like some cascade here. And then tall fillers, spillers, and thrillers. Is that what it was? Maybe another spiller over here. And this can be like that. So I'll have 3 sections of fillers, 1 thriller, and 1 spiller. Who did that? I think it's Home Free. I think it's Molly Ringwald, that Erin. I think that's, she looks like Molly Ringwald from the John Hughes movies. Not Home Free, Hometown. Hometown, that's what it was. What's this gonna be? Maybe a small, almost succulent type plant here. Visually different than the rest of this. And then I can work with this texture-ish, I think, for this. And then some of these shooting up here as the thrillers. Sorry, fillers, not thrillers. These are the thrillers. And maybe I'll have these kind of popping out from behind some of this filler. All right, I can get rid of that now since I know where I'm going with this. Now, do I want to have these guys kind of flopping over? I want to have floppy bits. I am not sure. But let's erase everything and see what it looks like. I could do a floppy bit back there. Well, I don't know if I like those floppy bits. Well, let me let them stay for a second and I'll see if they grow on me. Do I want to have this edge peeking out here a little bit? And not really. It's kind of looking weird. Yeah, that's looking weird. Let's not do that. Let's make this fill this spot. Come on. Don't be an awkward anchor. Don't be an awkward anchor. There we go. Go. All right, so now that I have lavished detail on this area that is totally not going to be visible, it's going to be behind the blurb, we can move on to different areas of the background. All right, let's go back over here. Let's see, how are we looking right now? We're looking okay. I'm not unhappy with this, but I would like to have some little... These are very wide planks. GB spared no expense on the floor in her kitchen. Spared no expense. And they look a little bit off. Yes. Do I want to make it a little bit less? Kinda. I kinda do. I kinda do. Okay, you need to draw a straight line here. It's not difficult. Just need to get the... There we go. All right, we're gonna refocus. There we go. And let's, yeah. We need to make this floor match because it's the same floor. Go. Not too shabby. Well, actually, yes, it is quite shabby. It's kind of wobbly and wibbly, yeah. There we go. Nope. Still not good enough. Let's try this again. Nope. Good enough? Not yet. There we go. Nope. There we go. All right, now I can do my floorboards. And I will do them in like 50%. And I think I'm gonna, yeah, I think I'll do that. I wanna do, I'll combine it all and then maybe drop it down in opacity so the floor is not so robust. I feel like this is a lot and I'm gonna have to do something with this too. It's going to be broken up by the characters. I'm just going to combine it. I should do the floor all in one group. Oh, I am way off here. Let's just make a straight line and let it do the talking. We are so way far off. We are so way far off. That's okay. That's more okay. That's awesome. That's not good. All right, so Mr. Straight Line, let's see, what can we, nope. All right. Okay, so that fixed it a little bit, maybe. It looks better-ish. Looks better-ish. All right. Oh. Oh, those tangents aren't going to be good. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. All right, I'm going to BRB again to deal with my nose. Yeah, it's nice. In the time that I blew my nose, Coconut decided to flip. So she is now toasting the other side. He says yes, and you are surprised? We are surprised not. All right, so what I mean about, I know that I'm going to have characters standing in here, but this front island, you're going to the island. I think it needs to come up. And 2 delta. Shoot. Okay, so I've got all of that good stuff grouped. I'm going to remove all the extra baloney that I put in. That's extra baloney. I'm going to go ahead and delete that extra baloney because we don't need it. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move this, and I'm going to give Granny Bear one of those cool, tall, thin cabinets where you keep your half sheets, because those are nice. And of course, Granny Bear would have her dream kitchen, and she would have one of those because she bakes a lot. And if you bake a lot, you've got a lot of half sheets and maybe even whole sheet pans. And they suck when you're trying to figure out where to keep them. So oftentimes you have a nice thin drawer underneath the oven, or people put them just in the oven, or you've got one of these nice vertical organizers. Uh-oh, we've got a little tippy line there. Trying to determine if I want to have soup, like my leftover soup, because I know that stuff's going to be good day 2. Do I want to save it for dinner, or do I want to have it at lunch? I kind of think I'll save it for dinner. And I've got to figure out, because it needs an extra protein. Oh, really? Why'd you put 2 points there? All right, and this is going to have a little handle here to pull it out. Well, maybe not that big. And then, whoops. I'm gonna group this guy and center him. They're updating their inventory with new and unique items. What? Oh dear. Okay. Delete. Why is this? I don't remember subscribing to this person. Well, that's kind of cool. Well, thank you, dude. I think I'll stay sub to that person because the newsletter is kind of a this week in social media, like the top trending audios and all of that good stuff. So if I do an animation or something, I could pair it with a good audio. All right, now we are on to second water. Well, actually, this is third water. Technically, I've had probably about 32 ounces already. All right. Now let's deal with the island. And I don't know if I can just do this and make it bigger. I kind of want to, but I feel like that's not cool. But it kind of still works a little bit. I need to have room for my floofs down here. And as I was, before I forget, I'm going to group my floor. So I can just grab my floor and drop it down in opacity. Opacity. Group it. Send it to the back. 50% maybe for now. There we go. And let's do that for this noise here. Although, do I really want to do that? Why don't I just delete? No. Let's make this 20%. So it's almost deleted, but not quite. But not yet. It's a very subtle texture. A very... Oh, I forgot hinges. God bless. Hinges. Hinges in a lightly textured top. And so now that I've adjusted things a little wee bit, we're going to adjust the angle of the, nope. I'm going to adjust the angle of the countertop. All right. I think I have the structure of my scene now. All right, my background at least. And this is a cavernous kitchen, but it's going to be filled with characters and also a blurb and also a title. And yeah, so we'll be okay. All right, so I have countertop. I have countertop here. I should, do I really want to do a backsplash? No, I don't, but I do. No. Granny Bear is not, is she though? No. She's chill, she's cool. She doesn't need a backsplash. I'm going to leave this here for now until I decide that I truly do not need this cabinet edge. It's raining. Oh, and I haven't saved for ages. That's a problem. Alright, so I have multiple groups here. I don't need my X marks the spot to help me with levels. I'm going to keep my little vanishing point lines just so I can work with get my characters where they need to be. And of course I'm going to draw these guys first because why not? I think Momo is going to be sitting on a stool. Granny Bear's going to be walking. Granny Bear walking. Happy's going to be probably up here. Pudge is going to be here. I'm going to have Floofs. So let's get to that part. Actually, let me BRB real quick once again. All right, there we go, much better. Put my buds back in. There we go. Switch back stream. There we go. What? I like those eyes. I'm gonna keep those eyes. Oops. But I've got to cut. Oops. Nope, 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 nope. Ah! Alright. Now let's get into the floof group. Alright, now eyes. There we go. Slim you down. So there's a YouTuber I follow for animation, and I'm so excited because yesterday he released a new kind of an update because they did a huge revamp of Procreate like 2.0. I guess they're calling it Procreate Dreams 2 now. But they introduced so many new features, and some of which that I've already taken advantage of, but I'm excited to learn more about the program, like deeper, like because I feel like even in this one I don't really use all but a few tools, and I really want to be able to understand the timeline, and because if you've watched any of my streams where I did animation, I get really frustrated with the gesture animation because I'm not sure where to grab the shapes that I'm supposed to animate with gestures, and it sort of works sometimes and doesn't work other times. I'm hoping to get more understanding of that, and I feel like I'm very close to being able to visualize how to create what I want to create. And that's the biggest hurdle for me, because if I can't see that, I fumble about in the dark. But if I can see where I'm going, if I know that, okay, I've got to, like, one time a while ago, I did a tutorial, kind of like a draw along with me, a study of Howl's Moving Castle, was it? No, it was, wait, yes it was. I did two, actually. I did the ham from Ponyo and the bacon in the pan from Howl's. And the way I did it was I broke it down into groups and layers. So like I drew the bacon, and then I drew the back half of the pan, and then I drew the front half of the pan. And so that's how I mentally broke it down into the layers I needed to draw to create this this image, and with the tools I have, which are different than, you know, quite different than a raster program like Photoshop or whatever. So I'm hoping don't know if I'll put that on tonight, later, or what. But so far, speaking on Dreams 2, I really like the changes that they made so far. And some of them were kind of, I think they were almost, why didn't you include this in the first one? Because there was no GIF export. Well, really animated GIF export. You could export frames, and there was one other thing you could do, because how I did animated, like this guy right here, how I do that before was I'd export the frames, as PNGs, and then I'd take it into either regular Procreate and animate it that way. But then before I even took up Procreate, I was doing the frames in Illustrator and exporting that file to Photoshop and then animating the layers with their timeline. And so now it's super easy to make these guys, which is why I came out with so many. Just a couple weeks ago, I released quite a few in quick succession because I had just gotten the update and was exploring it. But yeah, effectively you had to use 2 different programs to make little animated spots like that, which was frustrating. I never do that for Flu Farms, so I probably am not going to do it now. Or I could kind of do it like that. Okay, I think it's an acceptable paw. Just like, I'm drawing what it is essentially like my hand, like this, the front of it, I'm holding something, but all right. These little guys are good. I think I'm gonna, do I want to put a little food in his mouth or just little crumbs on his cheeks? Maybe crumbs on his cheeks and maybe something to indicate he's nomming. And then I'm gonna have, okay, these guys are gonna be separate, and I'm gonna have Coco kind of peering around the side of the island. I want a cookie too. Where'd you get it? I kind of want her eyes to be more like that. Need this. Almost. Those are way too big. Maybe her smile should be like this, and then the eyes can point over here a little bit more. Yes, there we go. We got it. We just had to figure it out. My lady! Your heating pad got turned off. means you've been sleeping on it for 2 hours. Alright, I'm going to group these because I am going to redraw the eyes and everything. Oh. All right. So she's That kind of looks a little bit better. It looks a little goofy, but let's move her head down a bit. Are you goofy looking coconut? You're goofy looking. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. However, Nope. Sometimes you need to zoom out. Sometimes you just need to zoom it out. There we go. That's my girl. So she's gonna have her paw on the cabinet. She's gonna be looking at her buddies. And buddies are gonna be in front of her, so I don't have to be quite as... Their group is gonna be on top of everything. So she's gonna have her paw behind here, but this is actually, I'm gonna have to push her whiskers around there too, but maybe her face is popping around the corner. Bitch. Go. There we go. So she's like that. Kind of like how she is now. Alright, so there's my beanie. Alright, she's done. Now let's get our main group. I've got Momo on a stool. I've got Granny Bear, Boop, Happy, Floof, Pudge, and I gotta maybe work in Tuxie or EL. It would be funny if I did EL with her face pressed against the window. Like, what are you doing? Like, she and Tuxie are looking in from outside. They're like, how dare you go to Granny Bear dinner with me without us? I kind of want to put them outside the window now. If I do that, I could do that. I like that idea. I like that idea. So how do I do that? And how do I... So I'm going to have Granny Bear maybe off to the side a bit. Momo's going to be over here. So let me drop Momo in. I might have to move the window a little bit, but maybe not all that much. Excuse me, a little hiccup. Maybe I need to make her a little bit smaller. Or maybe I just put her, instead of hanging off the edge of the counter here, she can be behind this middle part of the counter just with her paws. What I'm thinking of is paws on the table. Looking at Granny Bear, who's going to be walking over. However, her head is not that big. They're about the same. So she's going to be walking over with some baking. Like that. So I'm going to group her like this. And Boop is going to be probably up here. And maybe she'll notice them in the window. And I might have to move this counter down a little bit. Or I move this counter up a little bit. I'll have to figure it out. I like the idea though. And let me just go into the window and I'm going to draw their faces smooshed against the glass. So I won't forget. This is Momo. Gotta draw the Wi-Fi signal so I know it's Momo. And then she's gonna be kind of just like this. Yeah, I like that. Okay, don't make it harder than it needs to be. There we go. So she's kind of like this. And maybe her tail is... Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's just my rough sketch. And then that's them. And then there's Boop. Boop's gonna be floop and a boop and a boop. And she's gonna be like, oh no. Did I group Granny Bear? Yay! Let's group that in there too. So I've got that, and then I need to smoosh their faces against the window. So let's do that. Let's come into the background because all of this is going to be on a little lighter less saturated line art color because I want to have that little bit of distance there. I'm going to have some like some light filtering up, not light, but I mentioned magic flower last time, but kind of like just kind of atmospheric, cozy, cloudy, sparkly goodness kind of filtering in through. So I need to have that little bit of distance in there because I want this to be a very warm cover, and it's going to be in the golden yellow orange tone, like well, volume 3 is kind of the green yellow gold tones, like earthy. This one is going to be a little bit more cozy warm. But I was looking at the books all together, and that guy just stands out like a sore thumb. So I've been trying to vary up the overall color theme of each cover. And the last one was pink and green, kind of a garden theme. 5 was a little bit into the fall because I have those kind of crispy golden and fall colors in the trees, but the trees on the back. I did have a fence in there. I was kind of bringing it in, but I don't think, yeah, that didn't make it on the front cover. So this one I want to give volume 3 a friend, essentially. If you have them all, you can kind of, that one won't stick out so much. So I want to put, let's do, he's going to be like, oh, that looks good. But because their line art's going to be a little different, hopefully it's not going to be so distracting. We'll see. Let's save because I haven't saved in a while. All right, let's get back to Momo. This is going to be a fun cover. I'm glad I've gotten excited. I was excited about the cover, but I've gotten more excited about it because if you weren't here last time, I laid out, this is just a thumbnail exercise because I wanted to just get some ideas out, and I ended up making 5 covers. So this is pretty much all I need to do for the next several books, cover-wise. I was super excited about this one, which is all of the characters at the ideal wall, and I really love that one. I thought the bakery one was another great idea. I can just totally see it. And this one was actually calling from, where is it? Yes, this one. And yeah. The colors in this, I really did good here. I don't know how much caffeine I had, but I just really hit it on the colors there. And the water. Yeah. But this one is the campsite, and I thought it would be a neat idea for to recreate this with more characters. So that's what I did here. Instead of just the floofs coming over this hill, kind of out of the shadows and into the, the grassy area where the tent is and the campfire, I'm gonna have Pudge with a bunch of floofs. I'm gonna have Happy Fishing in the background. There's, I think that's Momo setting it up. There's Coconut, Floofs, Granny Bear, and then of course the campfire. And I was gonna redo the trees a little bit so I have more. I mean, it's okay, but this guy, he's a bit, if I take the, if I'm using this scene again, I'm gonna have to keep him there. But maybe just rearrange it a little bit. Maybe it's the same river, it's the same area, but they've kind of gone into a bigger, I don't know. But I thought it would be an ideal one to, you know, revisit. This would make a good cover too. But it doesn't have enough characters on the cover. And then I have sitting at the campfire. So this will be like kind of purple tealish nighttime, which I've never done. All the colors are really bright. So I have Coconut spinning a yarn and they're all sitting around the campfire. I've got a floof toasting here. I've got Pudge bringing the ingredients for s'mores. So lots of great ideas for covers here. And you know, with all of these ideas coming out, I was really getting excited about some of these later ideas, and I was less excited about the first one that came out. But now that I've been drawing it a little bit more and getting into the scene, I really, really like it. And I'm excited to finish it. You know, that ear wasn't too bad. I'm gonna keep it. Over a little bit though. And I'll have to fix her eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll leave the stripes, but I need to redo this face. All right, let's stripe. All right, let's get her body fixed up here. I have her paws approximated. I'm gonna keep the angle that I have her back and her front at. I like that, but I might keep those stripes because I'm not certain on these stripes, but I'm kind of getting there. Let's drop this down a bit, and let's draw our paws. I think that's gonna work. Oh. I don't quite like how that line is wobbly, so I'm gonna come back. I like the line, but the wobbliness of it is no bueno. So let's see. Do I want to just try and smooth or redraw? Oh, that works. Okay. Well, I have a redraw where a smoothing tool will work. All right, let's see. I've got two different pieces here. Okay, that explains it. We're gonna just join these two, and then I'll do my smoothing tool trick on this as well. And then maybe a little itty bitty smudge. And let's get her tail here, because she's gonna be like, whoop. And we need a heart. There's my girl. Now the question is, do I want to have this closed off? Right, I kind of do, because that'll make me layering her on top of the countertop a lot easier if I get that done like that. And it's masked, so if I move this up a little bit, it'll look a little bit more like she's sitting behind the table, but I can still have her object level group sitting on top. All right, there's my Mo. Now let's work on Granny Bear. Oh, shoot. Well, okay, I'm gonna group her. Let's group Miss Mo. And then I'm gonna work on Granny Bear right now. Let's see. All right, here we go. All right, let's do, oh, wait a minute, is there a weirdness? Is this weirdness? Nope, it's just my eyes doing tricks on me. Though, let's see if I want to do something tricky. I would like to move this up. Nope, that's not gonna work. Let's see, I want to move, give me this. And let me just switch it up. The reason I wanted to do that is there's a source of light coming here, and I don't want to have the thicker line be towards the source of light, because usually they're thinner, because you have the light kind of bouncing off, and you have the thicker lines generally where you've got more shadow. So I wanted to move that and make this just a tiny bit thinner over here. Now it's about equal. I could stand to move it just a smidge more, like that. I think that'll be better. All right, so now I'm gonna, oh shoot, I need to draw. Let's just go ahead and draw her face line, and then I'll group these sections so I can actually have a Granny Bear group that's official completed line art. And I might have to, she's a little bit large, so I'm going to reduce her size a bit. And I don't want to have her blocking the window, because that's the cute little no, my lady. Uh-oh, are you gonna sneeze? No? Okay. We have turned to toast the other side. Maybe make the mouth a little smaller, because it seems like she's shouting, and I don't want her to shout. I just want her to be... Well, that's what I drew in the rough sketch. Move this up here for a minute, and perhaps I will there we go, a little bit less squunch in the eyes. I want her to be like carrying, she's got a basket of goodies. Oops. Not sure about this leg. Let's just draw the basket of goodies. right now. Now this basket of goodies needs to be a little bit more defined. So these could be bread rolls or croissant. What is she gonna make? Because this is, the tangent of this line is a little bit not good. Let's see. I kind of like this line that's maybe it's a basket of some sort. Maybe she made cinnamon buns. It's so good. I've had a good cinnamon roll since the last time I made them. No. Actually, I was feeling disconnected from YouTube. Aw. Well, welcome to the stream, Dee. Always happy to see you. I was just mumbling about how much I would like to have a cinnamon roll. I did, so I saw this, I follow a couple of chefs and like recipe accounts, and one of them did this. It was kind of a way to kick up the tube store-bought cinnamon roll, basic, cinnamon rolls. And you get the cinnamon rolls, you add a bit of cream to them because it makes them puff. And then he had a recipe for this like bonus cinnamon sauce, and then he kicked up the frosting as well. He like took the little can of frosting and added some. Oh god, it was so good. It was good, but dangerous, very dangerous. But I did keep the recipe. I'm not letting that recipe go. Let's see, her paw is gonna be here. So let's see, the bowl is going to be about right here. Cute art style. Oh, please do. On my email list, I put out pretty much it's like the only thing I do right now with it is every Monday I send out a Floofspirational quote, which is it can be something that I've happened upon, but oftentimes it's from books that I'm currently reading. And so like, for example, this past Monday's, or actually, yeah, yesterday's quote came from this one, The Overthinker's Guide to Making Decisions. And this one I actually haven't read yet, but it's one of those books you can open up and pretty much on every page there's something, a quote that you want to remember. But yeah, so this one, it's a shorty, but and there's actually some workbook pages in the back of this, so it's not as long as some of the others. But so I draw those quotes and I schedule my Motivational Monday email to go out, and then when I have shop drops and new things coming out, I also do a blast for those. But so I don't like spam with updates or anything. I was thinking of, well, this was a while ago. I was thinking of using either using the email list to do it or creating a separate Substack, but just as a comic flow, like you know, just having the posts up there as a secondary funnel to show the comic and to serve the comic. It would be similar to, well, what, you know, kind of putting another feeler out to Webtoons and getting that updated, which I'm woefully behind on that, but I can only have so many hands. So I've been just trying to think of different ways to serve the comic up and get more readers. And that was one thing I was thinking of doing, but I wouldn't want to actually do that without... I'd want to email the list first and have a separate subscription. Like if you want to get the comics too, I would tag you in a certain portion and only send the comics to that portion. And then maybe have separate subscription areas. Like if you want all of the updates, shop, and everything, you can go here. If you just want the comics, you can go here. I think her paw is a little big. Let's make it a little smaller. I like the look of it, but it's just a little big. There we go. Not that you're going to see all of her paw because it's going to be locked behind. Well, at least this portion is going to be under her shawl. All right, where's my point size? 15. I'm gonna have a paw under there, and I'm gonna have her all like that. But then I need to do her paw, her foot. Maybe I'm gonna move her closer to the front, like have her maybe almost equal with Coconut here. That could explain, yeah, because I'm not digging how close she is to the back counter here. There we go. Am I ready to erase? I think so. So let's move GB down a little bit. So maybe she's right about here. Oh, let's kick the extra mouth out. There we go. All right, so let's cut that out. Let's save that over here, even though I haven't saved anybody else. All right, let's see here. It's about 1:46. I'm getting a little hungry. I'm gonna do one more layer below, put that in front so I can hide my sketch whenever I want. Make it a little easy to see things. I think this will be a nice... I was worried on this one that it wasn't going to be as full and you wouldn't see as many characters because Happy and Pudge and all are over here. I've got some more floofs. But now that I had the idea to have EL and Tuxie with their faces pressed against the window, arriving late to the baking party, I think that makes it better, because then I've got Floof and I've got Happy, I've got Pudge, I've got others here, and that'll be good for the blurb. The blurb will be right here, and I might have to adjust the sizing on it, because I do usually have a lead line that's in a different larger font, and then I have the blurb. I may need to make it a little bit wider than I usually do. We'll see. Well, my lady, goodness. What a stretch. What a stretch. But I think this is a good start. I've gotten the entirety of the kitchen background done, which is big, and I've gotten, you know, most of the front characters done, so I'll continue to work on this tonight, and hopefully I'll get my line art done and we'll be able to make a post out of this. If not, I'll definitely do some sort of a reel, or, you know, this is how I start making a cover for a book type deal. Something like that. But I still have plenty of characters to draw, so many opportunities to film if I need to do that. So, but yeah, I think that'll be it for me today. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to my ending screen. I will be back on Thursday, and it's gonna be a pug comic. So actually it's a play on a meme. What is it? Unbothered, moisturized, happy, in my lane, focused, flourishing. I'm gonna kind of make a Pudge comic out of that, and I've got a couple other ideas that I've written down. Actually, some for animations as well. Still haven't found that mysterious set of ideas that I wrote down somewhere, cannot remember where, cannot find where, and I am 100% certain I actually did this. It was not in a dream. It's somewhere. I just can't remember where it is. And the problem with it is I visualize and remember like with pictures. So like if I'm looking for a quote, I'll remember how far through the book it is. I'll remember what side of the page it is and maybe how far down the page it is, and that's how I'll find it again. But I just have conflicting pictures of what I wrote those ideas in. It could be OneNote. It could be actually a notebook that I haven't checked yet. I'm frustrated. I want to find them, and I will find them, or else I'll just write new ones. But anyway, so that'll be Thursday, Pug Comic coming Thursday, and if you want to see how this line art shapes up, I hope I will be getting it done today, and we'll post progress on that tonight on my Instagram and Twitter. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. Dee and Chris, any lurkers that have been popping in and out, I appreciate your company as always, and I will see you next time.